In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the different behavioral programs that FED3 can run. All of these programs are included in the FED3 code on the Hackaday page, and custom programs can also be written. When I turn FED on, it's a power button in the back, it starts up on a program selection screen. I can poke left or right to scroll through the programs that are on FED. If I want to set the number of the FED device, I can hold both pokes and we'll set the number. Let's set this to FED number 6. FED will remember the device number and the last program even when it's powered off. So once we've set these, we can wait for it to start. I'm going to explain these programs in order. So we'll start with the free feeding. This is basically the same as the FED2 or FED1. Pellet is dispensed. I take the pellet out. There's a short timeout, and it's going to dispense another pellet. On the screen, it's simply logging pellets. So the next program is a fixed ratio 1. There's a pellet in here already. I'm going to remove that. And in this program, the left poke is active. So I can poke on the right, nothing happens. I can poke on the left, and we receive a pellet. If we look at the screen, we've seen that we had 1 left poke. The arrow denotes that the left poke is active, 3 right pokes, and we received 1 pellet. I'm going to skip FR3, FR5, and we'll move to progressive ratio. Now the ratio is 2, so it's going to take 1 left poke, 2 left pokes. Now the ratio is 4, and so on. It keeps increasing, and we find out when the mouse will stop, which is its break point. Next one we'll look at is extinction. In extinction, both pokes are active. The left poke gives us the same conditioned stimulus. But all we're doing here is logging. So that was 2 left and 3 right. The animal never receives a pellet. The next one we're going to look at is a visual tracking test that I'm calling light tracking. In this task, you'll see the left arrow or the right arrow determining which poke is active. It's an FR1 task. And we can see that there's an active poke. So if I poke on the right, no pellet. Poke on the left, and we'll get a pellet. When we take the pellet, it's randomized on each trial as to whether the left or the right poke will be active. Got 3 in a row there. And now the right poke is active, so left does not respond. This will train the animal to learn the visual discrimination of finding which poke is active. So in this program, we'll see that it says 80-20. These are variables that can be set in the code, unfortunately not from the device itself. What this says is that the left poke has an 80% probability of dispensing a pellet, the right poke has a 20% probability. Every 2 seconds, that randomizes, or the device randomizes which poke is active, maintaining 80% of the time on the left and 20% on the right. So if we watch this arrow, that's showing that if we poke on the left, it's active. I don't know when exactly. There it just went. That was a period of 2 seconds where the right poke was active. So how this works is if I poke on the right, nothing will happen. About 20% of the time, this will result in a pellet. It's logging them, so that was 4 right pokes. I poke on the left, we get pellets. After getting 8 in a row correct, this task, the active poke will switch to the other side. And the animal will have to learn this reversal. So those are the programs in the FED. I'd love to hear any feedback.